Hi, in this video I'm going to go over game 1 from Prep Test 13. So we have 8 players, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, and N. They're being divided into two 4-person groups. So we have group 1, group 2, each person is assigned to exactly one of the two groups. So we have two mutually exclusive groups, and they're equal in number. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. All right. So F has to be in the same group as J. So we could do two scenarios if we wanted for that one, right? So we could have both F and J together in group 1 versus F and J together in group 2. That might be an interesting way to set them apart. Another way to write that rule would be just to put that F and J have to be together. So that one I'll leave up to personal preference. G and M have to be in different groups. So G must be in a different group from M. So we actually have to split those guys up. So for that one, G and M can't be in the same group. This one, though, I would definitely add to my diagram. So I'm doing G/M on one side and M/G on the other side, indicating that I need to separate them. And if you've done the two scenarios, you would repeat that for both scenarios. Rule 3, we have a conditional. Okay, so if H is in 1, then L is in 1. And the contrapositive would be if L is not in 1, or if L is in 2, then H is in 2. So for this rule, it's going to be triggered if H is in group 1 or if L is in group 2, but we could avoid triggering it by putting L in group 1 and H in group 2. So this is not the same as rule 1, right? With rule 1, F and J are always in group 1 together or group 2 together. But with rule 3, H and L have a different relationship to each other compared to F and J. So if I wanted to describe the FJ relationship, it would be a biconditional. If I wanted to describe it as a conditional relationship, it would be biconditional. So it would be that double arrow kind of situation. Whereas the HL relationship is our typical conditional relationship where it is one-sided, right? We have a trigger and we have a consequence and we don't cross over. So if it's not triggered, then we wouldn't use that rule and we can avoid using the rule. And so H and L could potentially be separated from each other. Okay. Rule 4, if N is in group 2, then G must be in group 1. The contrapositive of that would be if G is not in group 1. So if G is in group 2, then that's going to push N to not be in group 2, and N will actually have to be in group 1. And again, this isn't a biconditional. This is a regular conditional where we have triggers and consequences, and it is possible to avoid the triggers and just do the consequences. So G and N could be together if they're both in group 1. L and H could be separate if L is in group 1 and H is in group 2. All right, so hopefully that helps with the rules and the setup. I would leave it there before moving on to the questions. And I am just going to pause the recording and pause the video. I'll make another video on the questions. If you struggled with this portion of it, then it would be good to do the setup again yourself. and then yeah, and then come back to it after you've tried the questions again with this new setup and understanding of the rules.